Island Domain, BSA Agronomy. Biochemistry of Lipids. A lipid is a type of organic molecule found in living things. It is oily or waxes. Fats are made from lipids molecules. Lipids are long chain of carbon and hydrogen molecules. These organic compounds are nonpolar molecules, which are soluble only in nonpolar solvents and insoluble in water, because water is polar molecules. In the human body, these molecules can be synthesized in the liver and are found in oil, butter, whole milk, cheese, fried foods, and also in some red meats. Lipids are a family of organic compounds composed of fats and oils. A lipid is any of various organic compounds that are insoluble in water, but are insoluble in organic solvent such as ether and chloroform. They include fats, waxes, oils, hormones, and certain components of membrane, and function as energy storage molecules and chemical messengers. Together with proteins and carbohydrates, lipids are one of the structural components of living cells. For examples, fats, oils, waxes, certain vitamins such as E, D, E, and K, hormones, and most of the cell membrane that is not made up of protein. Any of a class of organic compounds that are fatty acids or their derivatives and are insoluble in water, but soluble in organic solvents. It is a source and store of energy, an important part of the membrane surroundings every body cells. Lipids, also known as fats, play many important roles in your body, from providing energy to producing hormones. You wouldn't be able to digest and absorb food properly without lipids. Of course, eating more fat than you need can lead to weight gain, but in proper amounts, lipids are a healthy part of your diet. Fats and oils are esters of glycerol and 3 fatty acids. They are important in the diet as energy sources and as sources of essential fatty acids and fat-soluble vitamins with satiety, flavor, and palatability to the diet. Lipids in your body are essential for properly digestion and absorption of food and nutrients. Triglycerides are the most common example of lipids. The insoluble property of lipids makes the digestion and absorption of fats a complicated process, since they are hydrophobic. Fats stick together as a large of insoluble mass after reaching the stomach. Lipids are a class of compounds characterized by their solubility in nonpolar solvent and insolubility in water. Lipids are the polymers of fatty acids that contain a long nonpolar hydrocarbon chain with a small polar region containing oxygen. Lipids are important fats that serve different roles in the human body. A common misconception is that fat is simply fattening. However, fat is probably the reaction we are all here throughout history. There have been many instances with food was scarce. Our ability to store excess caloric energy as fat for future usage allowed us to continue as a species during these times of famine. So normal fat reserves are a signal that metabolic processes are efficient and a person is healthy. Lipids are a family of organic compounds that are mostly insoluble in water, composed of fats and oils. Lipids are molecules that yield high energy and have a chemical composition mainly of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. They serve as structural components of cell membranes, function as energy, and function as important signaling molecules. The 3 main types of lipids are triglycerols, also called triglycerides, phospholipids, and sterols, also known as triglycerides, make up more than 95% of lipids in the diet and are commonly found in fried foods, vegetables, oils, buttermilk, cheese, cream, and some meats. Sterols are the least common type of lipid. Cholesterol is perhaps the best well-known sterols. True cholesterol has a notorious reputation. The body gets only a small amount of it. Cholesterol through food the body produces most of it. Triglycerols also help the body produce and regulate hormones. Fats also play important functional roles in sustaining nerve impulse transmission, memory storage, and tissue structure. They help form nerve cell membrane, insulate neurons, and facilitate the signaling of electrical impulses throughout the brain. Lipids important to help provide energy for muscles and body processes, insulate and protect your body, give proper digestion and absorption of food and nutrients, and are used in production of cell membrane and hormones. They are used in the production of cell membranes and hormones, as well for maintaining vision and supporting the immune system. These lipids provide structure and support for the walls of every cell in your body. Communication between cells is also dependent upon lipids in your cell's membrane. Lipids act as energy storage. The common lipids utilized for energy are fats. This fat is usually stored in the adipose fat tissue cells. Carbohydrates and proteins can be converted into fats by enzyme and then get stored in these cells. When the body energy decreases due to starvation or intense work, the body breaks down the stored fat to produce energy. After being metabolized, the energy yielded by fats is twice that or the energy yielded by carbohydrates. Lipids in health and disease are also a major concern. So what do lipids do for the body? Lipids have both good and detrimental side effects in the body. Lipids cushion the internal organs and also give shape to the body. Also, most lipids play a vital role in maintaining bodily functions. However, a high concentration of lipids such as low-density lipoproteins and unhealthy fats are attributed to causing various illnesses and disorders such as obesity, atherosclerosis, and diabetes. Lipids perform functions both within the body and in food. Within the body, lipids function as an energy reserve, regulate hormones, transmit nerve impulses, cushion vital organs, and transport fat-soluble nutrients. Fat in food serves as an energy source with high caloric density, adds texture and taste, and contribute to satiety. A family of organic compounds composed of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. They are insoluble in water. The three main types of lipids are triglycerides, phospholipids, and sterols. Energy storage. The excess energy from the food we eat is digested and incorporated into adipose tissues or fat tissue. Most of the energy required by the human body is provided by carbohydrates and lipids. In fact, 30 to 70% of the energy used during rest comes from fats, while glycogen provides us a ready source of energy. Lipids primarily function as an energy reserve. Glycogen is quite wealthy with heavy water content, thus the body cannot store too much for long. Fat is used for energy during exercise, especially after glycogen is depleted. Fats are packed together tightly without water and store far greater amounts of energy in a reduced space. A fat comes densely concentrated with energy. It contains more than double the amount of energy than a gram of carbohydrates. Unlike other body cells that can store fat, unlimited supplies fat cells are specialized for fat storage and are able to expand almost indefinitely in size. Fat-rich foods naturally have a high caloric density. Foods that are high in fat contain more calories than foods high in protein or carbohydrates. As a result, high-fat foods are a convenient source of energy. For example, 1 gram of fat or oil provides 9 calories compared with 4 calories found in 1 gram of carbohydrates or protein. Depending on the level of physical activity and on nutrition needs, fat requirements vary greatly from person to person. When energy needs are high, the body welcomes the high caloric density of fats. For instance, infants and growing children require higher amounts of fat to support normal growth and development. If an infant or child is given a low-fat diet for an extended period, growth and development will not progress normally. Other individuals with high energy needs are athletes, people who have physically demanding jobs, and those recuperating from illness. Biochemistry of Proteins. Protein large molecules composed of one or more chain of amino acid in a specific order determined by the base sequence of nucleotides in the DNA coding for the protein. Proteins are required for the structure, function, and regulation of the body's cells, tissues, and organs. Proteins are used for synthesis of enzymes, hormones, and antibodies to combat diseases. Amino acids, the building blocks of proteins, are essential for the formation of new protoplasm for growth and repair of worn-out body cells. And also our body has proteins. It can be found in our muscles, bone, hair, skin, and other parts of our body that has tissues. Proteins has blocks that called amino acids. Other amino acids can also be found in the food that we ate. The basic structure of protein is a chain of amino acid. You need protein in your diet to help your body repair cells and make new ones. Protein is also important for growth. Protein food are broken down into parts called amino acid during digestion. The human body needs a number of amino acids in large enough amount to maintain good health. Amino acids are found in animal sources such as meat, milk, fish, and eggs. They are also found in plant sources such as soy, beans, nut butters, and some grains. Amino acids are classified into 3 organs. Classified into 3 groups: essential, non-essential, and conditional. Essential amino acid cannot be made by the body and must be supplied by food. They do not need to be eaten at every meal. The balance over the whole day is more important. Non-essential amino acids are made by the body from essential amino acid or in the normal breakdown of proteins. Conditional amino acids are needed in times of illness and stress. Protein has minerals in your body. It helps repair and build your body tissues, allows metabolic reactions to take place, and coordinates bodily functions. In addition to providing your body with a structural framework, proteins also maintain proper pH and fluid balance. Finally, they keep your immune system strong, transport and store nutrients, and can act as an energy sources if needed. Collectively, these functions make protein one of the most important nutrients for your health. Function of protein in our body. Protein give antibodies. It helps us to fight viruses and any other diseases or illnesses. It gives us growth and maintenance. It gives us energy. Proteins help us to repair broken tissues in our bodies. It has enzymes that help us to aid biochemical reactions inside and outside our bodies. Enzymes help our digestive system and give us energy. Proteins play the role of a messenger. It transmits signals to coordinate with cells, tissues, and organs. Proteins provide structure and support for our body cells. Proteins act as a storage and transport atoms throughout our bodies. Proteins regulate our body fluids. Proteins help regulate our blood circulation. Proteins help us to fight infections in our body. Protein is an important nutrient for everyone, not just athletes and bodybuilders. That doesn't mean you need to start drinking protein shake every day. Most people can get the protein that they need from a healthy and balanced diet. Here's why protein is important. How much protein you need each day, and source great protein-rich food. Protein is one of three primary macronutrients, the others being carbohydrates and fat. Macronutrients are the chemical compound that human ingest the most of and which provide us with most of our energy. Protein consists of amino acids and are the most commonly found molecules in cell. Our bodies can produce most of the amino acids we need to stay healthy, but there are 9 amino acids that we cannot produce and must consume through diet. Humans can survive without all 9 essential amino acids. Protein is essential to building bones and body tissues, such as muscles, but protein does much more than that. Protein participates in practically every process of a cell. Protein provides the same energy density as carbohydrates. However, the body does not store protein in the same way. It stores carbohydrates and fats. This means that you need to consume protein every day. Many people look to supplements to increase the amount of protein they consume, but most people can get the protein they need each day from foods. The food you eat also provides other essential nutrients. Both plants and animals provide good sources of protein. It is important to be aware, however, that while many plants provide all the essential amino acids, according to the Food and Nutrients Board of the Institute of Medicine, meats, poultry, fish, eggs, milk, cheese, yogurt, and soybeans are all sources of complete protein, which means they provide all 9 essential amino acids. Many different foods that come from plants, including fruits, seeds, nuts, whole grains, cereals, provide protein. However, since plant proteins are not complete proteins, it's important to know which amino acid these foods provide. Especially if you do not eat meat, you must make a point to eat a variety of plant protein to ensure that you get all of the essential amino acids. As a rule of thumb, if you get half your protein from animal sources, those complete proteins mean you can get the rest of your protein from plant sources without worrying about how complete those plant protein are. Plant protein is lower in saturated fats than animal protein, so there's a health advantage to increasing the proportion of plant sources. It's necessary to eat a variety of foods even if you eat foods delivering complete protein. While protein is an important nutrient, there are many nutrients that are equally important to maintaining good health. A healthy diet is crucial to maintaining good health, and so is regular communication with your primary care physician. It is a component of every cell in your body. In fact, hair and nails are mostly made of protein. Your body uses it to build and repair tissue. You need it to make enzymes, hormones, and other body chemicals. It is an important building block of bones, muscles, skin, and blood. Like carbohydrates and fat, protein is a macronutrients, meaning that you need relatively large amount of it to stay healthy. Vitamins and minerals, which you only need in small quantities, are called micronutrients. Unlike carbohydrates and fat, your body does not store protein, so it has no reservoir to draw from when you're running low. Protein bars and shake are a great way to supplement your diet and ensure you're getting the right amount of protein. Protein comes from a variety of sources including meat, milk, fish, and eggs, as well as beans. Biochemistry of nucleic acids. Nucleic acids are naturally occurring chemical compounds that serve as the primary information-carrying molecules in cells, and by directing the process of protein synthesis, they determine the inherited characteristic of every living things. The two main classes of nucleic acid are deoxyribonucleic acid (DNA) and ribonucleic RNA. Nucleic acid is an important class of macromolecules found in all cells and viruses. The function of nucleic acid have to do with the storage and expression of genetic information. Nucleic acids are vital for cell functioning and therefore for life. Together, they keep track of hereditary information in a cell so that the cell can maintain itself. Functions of nucleic acids is to create, encode, and store biological information in cells, and serves to transmit and express that information inside and outside the nucleus. Deoxyribonucleic acid (DNA) stores the genetic information and directs the protein synthesis by the cell. The sequence of nucleotides in the DNA determines the sequence of amino acids is in the protein. Ribonucleic acid (RNA) is involved in the synthesis of proteins. Because deoxyribonucleic acid DNA store the genetic information and direct the protein synthesis by the cells, the sequence of nucleotides in the DNA determine the sequence of amino acid in the protein. Ribonucleic acid (RNA) is involved in the synthesis of protein. Nucleic acids are responsible for the transfer of genetic information from one generation to the next. The two types of nucleic acid are DNA and RNA. When a cell divides, its DNA is copied and passed from one cell generation to the next generation. RNA is essential to the synthesis of proteins. Polynucleotide chain of deoxyribonucleic acid (DNA). Portion of polynucleotides chain of deoxyribonucleic acid (DNA). The insets show the corresponding pentose sugar and pyrimidine base in ribonucleic acid (RNA). Nucleotides are the building blocks of polymers called polynucleotides. The name of these polynucleotides comes from the sugar ribonucleic acid. To the three letters RNA, adenine, guanine, cytosine, and uracil are the four nitrogenous bases always found in RNA. RNA, the simplest of the polynucleotides, is a single chain in which the pentose sugar. DNA deoxyribose is the pentose sugar found in this type of polynucleotide. Nucleic acids are the most important macromolecules for the continuum of life. DNA is the genetic material found in all living organisms, from single-cell bacteria to it is found in the nucleus of eukaryotes and in the organelles, chloroplasm, and prokaryotes. The DNA is not enclosed in membranes. RNA and DNA are made up of monomers known as nucleotides. The nucleotides combine with each other to form a polynucleotides. DNA or RNA, each nucleotide is made up of three components: a nitrogenous base, a pentose 5 carbons, sugar, and a phosphate group. The nitrogenous base important component of nucleotides are organic molecules because they contain carbon and nitrogen. Nucleic acids are essential for all forms of life, and it is found in all cells. Nucleic acid come into natural form called deoxyribonucleic acid, DNA, and ribonucleic acid, RNA. Nucleic acid bonds that hold together the phosphorus, sugar, and nitrogen molecules are called glycosidic bonds and ester bonds. Glycosidic bonds are made between the first carbon atom in a 5-carbon sugar and the 9th nitrogen atom in a nitrogenous base. Ester bonds are made between the 5th carbon atom in a 5-carbon sugar and the phosphate group. These bonds not only hold together a single nucleotide, but they also hold together a chain of nucleotides that create polynucleotides that form deoxyribonucleic acid, DNA, and ribonucleic acid, RNA. If sugar in this chain is a ribose sugar, a strand of RNA will be created, DNA. The RNA strand binds to a polynucleotide that has a similar but anti-parallel structure with bands called bihydrogen bands. DNA is responsible for storing and coding genetic information in the body. RNA plays an important role in protein synthesis to make this protein. It is also how genetic information is covered in certain viruses. DNA is the instruction of life. It gives which proteins uses. RNA is the protein instruction. It gives how the protein is built. The function of nucleic acid are necessary class of macromolecules found in all cells and viruses. The nucleic acid function is involved in storing and expressing genetic information. Deoxyribonucleic acid, DNA, encodes the information that cells need to make proteins. A related type of nucleic acid called ribonucleic acid, RNA, is provided in a variety of molecular form involved in protein synthesis. Nucleic acid is a term used to describe a particular large molecule in a cell. That is, it is actually composed of repeating unit chain polymers, and the two most famous nucleic acids are heard of are DNA and RNA. Nucleic acid is then actually used inside the cell to store information. The cell encodes the information into nucleic acid just as it. Another amazing part about nucleic acid it is that they are very stable proteins, and therefore when we think of the need to transfer genetic information from one cell to another, we need a molecule that is very stable and does not disintegrate on its own. This is an important feature of nucleic acid. The name of nucleic acid comes from the fact that it was first because it actually had acidic properties similar to the acids, and the parts of the nucleo come from the fact that they were first because they were found in the nucleus. As you know, there is DNA. This is one of the type of nucleic acid. We have an important component of living organism is a long chain polymer consisting of nucleotides. Enzymes are proteins that help speed up metabolism or the chemical reactions in our bodies. They build some substances and break others down. All living things have enzymes. Our bodies naturally produce enzymes, but enzymes are also in manufactured product and food. And also, enzymes help with the chemical reaction that keep a person alive and well. For example, they perform a necessary function for metabolism, the process of breaking down food and drink into energy. Of enzymes provide help with facilitating chemical reaction within each cells. There are enzymes in our saliva, pancreas, intestine, and stomach. They break down fats, protein, and carbohydrates. Enzymes use these nutrients for growth and cell repair. Enzymes also help breathing, building muscles, nerve functions. Enzymes provide support for many important processes within the body. Some examples: the digestive system. Enzymes help the body break down larger complex molecules into smaller molecules, such as glucose, so that the body can use them as fuel. DNA replication. Each cell in the body contains DNA. Each time a cell divides, the cell needs to copy its DNA. Enzymes help in the process by unwinding the DNA wells. Liver enzymes. The liver breaks down toxins in the body To do this, it uses a range of enzymes that facilitate the process of destroying the toxins. Enzymes, vitamins, and hormones are classified into a single category of biological chemical because all these help in regulation of metabolism. Enzymes is a proteinaceous catalyst produced by a cell and responsible for the high rate and specificity of one or more intercellular or intracellular biochemistry reactions. Vitamins is an organic substance which generally synthesized by plants exception vitamins D. Enzymes lower the activation energy of the reactions but do not change the free energy of the reactions. It is important to remember that enzymes do not change whether a reaction is exergonic, spontaneous, or entheogenic. This is because they do not change the free energy of the reactants or products. Many vitamins, the B vitamins, assist enzymes act as enzymes and activities ranging from vision to growth ability. Enzymes are proteins or other molecules that catalyze reaction, make them go faster without themselves being permanently transformed. There are three main types of digestive enzymes. They are categorized based on the reaction they help. Amylase, protease, lipase. Amylase breaks down starches and carbohydrates into sugar. Protease breaks down proteins into amino acids. Lipase breaks down lipids, which are fat and oils, into glycerol and fatty acids. Enzymes are essential for healthy digestion and a healthy body. They work with other chemicals in the body, such as stomach acid and bile, to help break down food into molecules for a wide range of bodily function. Carbohydrates, for instance, are needed for energy, while protein is necessary to build and repair muscles, among other functions, but they must be converted into form that can be absorbed and utilized by your body. Enzymes are proteins that help speed up metabolism or the chemical reaction in our bodies to build some substances and break others down. All living things have enzymes. One of the most important roles of enzyme is to aid in digestion. Digestion is the process of turning the food we eat into energy. For example, there are enzymes in our saliva, pancreas, intestine, and stomach. They break down fats, proteins, and carbohydrates. Each cell in the human body contains thousands of enzymes. Enzymes provide help with facilitating chemical reaction within each cell. Enzymes help with the chemical reaction that keep a person alive and well. For example, they perform a necessary function for metabolism, the process of breaking down food and drink into energy. Enzyme provides support for many important processes within the body. Many enzymes are simple proteins consisting of one or more amino acid chains. Other enzymes contain a non-protein component called a cofactor that is necessary for the enzyme proper functioning. Vitamins are organic compounds that are essential a very small amount for the maintenance of normal metabolism. They generally cannot be synthesized at level by the body and must be obtained from the diet. Vitamins are organic nutrients that are required in small quantities for a variety of biochemical function and which generally cannot be synthesized in the body and must be supplied by the diet. Vitamins and minerals are used as food supplements for the human beings. For example, vitamin E is obtained from beta-carotene, carrots, vitamin D from sunlight. Biotin is synthesized from cysteine amino acid. Vitamins and minerals are organic compounds that our bodies use in very small amount for a variety of metabolic process. Basically, they keep us healthy and help our bodies to function. We get vitamins and minerals from the foods we eat. Vitamin A is a fat-soluble vitamin that is naturally present in many foods. Vitamin A is important for normal vision, the immune system, and reproduction. Vitamin A also helps the heart, lungs, kidneys, and other organs work properly. Vitamins and minerals are essential nutrients because they perform hundreds of roles in the body. There is a fine line between getting enough of these nutrients, which is healthy, and getting too much, which can end up harming you. Eating a healthy diet remains the best way to get sufficient amounts of the vitamins and minerals you need. Vitamin A is a key for good vision, a healthy immune system, and cell growth. There are two types of vitamins A. This entry is primarily about the active form of vitamin A, retinoids that comes from animal products. Beta-carotene is among the second type of vitamin A, which come from plants. Iron is a mineral that our bodies need for many functions. For example, iron is a part of hemoglobin, a protein which carries oxygen from our lungs throughout our bodies. It helps our muscles store and use oxygen. Iron is also part of many other proteins and enzymes. Iodine is a mineral found in some foods. The body needs iodine to make hormones. These hormones control the body, metabolism, and many other important functions. The body also needs thyroid hormones for proper bone and brain development during pregnancy and infancy. Getting enough iodine is important for everyone, especially infants and women who are pregnant.